Welcome back, students. As we were discussing about the communication skills in the previous slides, communication is therefore the most important tool of management when dealing with people, yet it is the most difficult to achieve effectively because it involves much more than just sending and receiving messages. It is all about the bond, it is all about the trust, it is all about how you talk to other and you get to know about other person's opinion and the information. There are a number of factors, that is personality characteristics, sense of security or fear in the work environment, nationality and the cultural background, sex, education, and occupation. All these four factors affect the way you talk, affect your communication skills as a whole. Now we are going to discuss the communication methods. The methods used to pass on information or messages and initiate action in the food service environment are briefly outlined and discussed below. Verbal. This literally means by word of mouth, but with technological advances, recorded voice or verbal messages can be conveyed by people even from the long distances. For example, we send a voice note to our colleagues or our inferiors in the work environment. We can send an email, an audio email to other persons. So, or in a large organization through which the telecommunication in the form of intercoms, mobile phone, voicemails, and so on. The next mode of communication is written through letters, memos, notes, or SMS messages. SMS messages, although is an way of electronic media of communication, but it is still included in the written form in which we send the messages in the letters or via fax or by giving a memo. Verbal followed by written. Instructions given and followed by a detailed plan of action helps it to be used as a reference at work. And written followed by verbal, it includes such communication methods are seen in the form of an order handed over to an employee and the intricacies explained verbally just to make sure they are understood. Gestures and facial expressions are also very important, and these can be very effectively used to communicate feelings of joy, anger, frustration, or friendship. Even if your manager is frowning on you, you can get to know that he is not happy with you. Silence. This also communicates feelings of disagreement, disinterestedness, anger, shock, worry, or even concentrated mental activity. Okay, if the silence is also a way of communication, how, for instance, I'm doing something on my laptop and my coworker comes to me and tells me anything about her work, and I'm just silent, that means I'm busy. Or if I am not talking to you, I'm angry at you with considering any reason, then my way of communicating with you would be silence. So it's a very powerful weapon to make someone know that you are angry at them. Whatever the method of communication used by people, its effectiveness depends a lot on the sensitivity of people to interpret the words, written or oral, gestures, expressions, or silence correctly. In other words, the receivers have got to be at the same mental wavelength at the center as the sender of the information. In any situation, however, no one method of communication is used in isolation. Obviously, not only you can convey your messages through written material or verbally or giving the gestures, you need to use these methods interchangeably and at the same time. The written form helps to follow up the activity and to record the results for future reference. It also has been noticed that a message or information gets communicated much better when the receiver needs that particular information for getting his work done. The most effective communication is established where authority and responsibility are completely delegated and clearly defined. Very often, a worker who becomes disinterested in his work has become so because he has not know exactly what to do. Therefore, the success of any operation involving a number of people depends on the channels and the methods by which information concerning their work is passed on. Now, what are the barriers to communication? The poor communication, is A gesture is something that indicates the feeling of insecurity, uncertainty, indifference, and confusion, that you don't know what you are supposed to do, what are the exact instructions given by your instructor, your manager, and the feeling of insecurity that other people may, not think you as their colleague or as a good performer, and uncertainty that you are not, you're not getting to follow the deadlines, you're not meeting the deadlines by, as assuming that they could be, push some forward. Indifference, that you feel that you are different than others, you have been treated differently by your manager. So poor communication can, affect your personality on as a whole level. And the good communication is achieved and can result in understanding among the work environment, and it can build your confidence, and it highlights your strength. What could be the barriers that leads to a good communication towards the poor communication? Assumptions or poor language, unplanned message, insecurity, and fear. If you fear a lot from your supervisor or your food manager, you cannot tell him what barriers you are facing, what challenges you are facing, and what help you need in performing your task. Similarly, if you're insecure, you think less of yourself than your colleagues, then it also leads to poor communication. Simultaneously, anger, poor listening, bad memory, distorted statements, and lack of interest are also the reasons that can lead to a good communication towards bad communication. So for now, I have concluded my lecture today, and I hope that you guys have learned a lot. And I would like you guys to give your feedback in the comment section. Your assignments would be updated there, and the given due time would also be mentioned there. Thank you so much.